Yeah, I heard F&Gs are legit. They're
Yeah, I finally got my stuff taken care of, so I can now produce for them.
All right, so do I need to back up, or does this even matter to where you go? It's totally up to you guys.
Wait, yeah, can you back up real quick? Sorry.
Yes, sir. All right, so when you get into the main Fidelity and Guarantee site, you'll go to Sales Tools and Illustrations. And then you'll want to do the website version. So this will take you to Pipeline. It's no different than Mutual of Omaha or any of those type that use Transamerica. So you'll start a new case. Bill, you want me to use a certain name on this one?
You can just put Michael.
Okay. Tompkins. And date of birth.
4/8/18.
All right. So what
Texas.
state? Okay. So this is where we'll look at Indexed Universal Life. Everybody that hasn't seen this is where you do your MIGAs, your FIAs, single premiums, whatever. So for IUL, they have 3 options. The Everlast, I've heard, doesn't perform as well. The Execudex is going to be for business professionals, people with higher net worth, that it will be a lower risking IUL. And then the Path Setter is the one that I use exclusively. So it's going to require a policy owner name, since the person, it's a child, a juvenile. So we'll put you on there.
All right.
That's the first thing it will require. You cannot change underwriting guidelines for a juvenile. Typically there will be 4 or 5 different underwriting classes depending on the person's health.
Okay.
So
you have to put William Tompkins, Billy?
I mean, it doesn't matter. This is just
yeah,
for demonstration.
Oh, I thought it was legit.
But yeah, no.
So depending on how the client wants to structure, so you laid it out to me that you would like your kid to have some sort of a retirement, or the trust be able to fund it after a certain age. So
Right.
what I would want to do in that case, because there are so many options, as you can see, for the solve for, what you're looking to do is provide a retirement plan for your child. So you would want to choose the max accumulation and income.
Okay.
If you weren't interested in potentially setting them up as retirement fund, I would choose for a child a max accumulation.
That's what I was going to say. What's the difference between the two there?
So the income will allow them to have the 7702 tax credit benefit from the IRS to withdraw as a loan, so they don't pay taxes when they pull it out.
I gotcha. Makes sense.
And it's set up, and I'll show you, it sets up a certain time frame that you can allow the child to automatically collect a certain amount of money.
Okay.
So we'll start with the max accumulation income. So you're always going to have to solve for the face amount.
Okay.
So you can choose either annual or monthly. It automatically converts itself. But if you had a monthly amount, this is where I would say, hey, Billy, is $50 something that you would be interested in putting in your kid's account every month?
Put 100 in there.
Okay,
Put 100 in there.
$100. We're going to put that in there. And when I hit OK, it's already going to transition it to an annual base, 1,200.
Okay.
So it's already specified. So when would you like to stop paying the premiums on your child's account?
When he's 30.
Okay. So right here, if I know that I don't want to calculate how old he is, I just put A for age and 30.
Okay.
You can also put, you can put Y 30 and it would pay up to 34. So year 30 would be at the age of 34.
Gotcha.
So when would you like your child to start withdrawing the benefits tax-free?
Say 50.
Okay. So the younger the age that they start pulling, the less it will be because the cash accumulation will
Okay,
not
say,
have
say
happened.
50, say 55 then.
Okay. And how many years do you see him wanting to withdraw the funds for? Typically, our clients do about 15 years because that's kind of their prime area of retirement.
Yeah, that sounds good. 15 years.
Okay. So then we would add the 15 years right here. So from 55 to 70, he'll get the tax-free loan given to him. So this box at the bottom is the most critical piece of this entire IUL.
Okay,
If you don't click the U7702 rates, then it will not illustrate the tax-free amount.
gotcha.
Press OK. So here's where we can set up two options. So the face amount, a lot of the clients will do a initial death benefit as the minimum because we're not really looking for the policy to be a life insurance policy when they're 4 years old.
Right,
We're looking for the policy to convert whenever they turn 70 and they're not pulling the money anymore. Then it can convert over to being a life insurance policy.
gotcha.
So up until then, we want it to accrue as much cash as possible.
Right,
So for a lot of juveniles, we'll do the minimum of 50,000.
okay.
And
So
then
so basically what that does is if it's 150,000, less of the money's going towards the future.
less of the money is going to be put towards the cash accumulation because it's got to offset that death benefit potential.
Gotcha.
Yep. So to change it to where what we want to do is convert it to a life insurance policy at that point. So option A is high on the death benefit. Option B is cash accumulation. And then the varies option B to A is when you can convert it from doing cash accumulation to death benefit.
Gotcha.
So at age 70 or at age 55, when he starts withdrawing, you can put whatever, whenever you want it to start converting into a life insurance policy.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions? Does that make sense? Or I'm not sure who all's heavily participating in this, but just for this illustration, we'll put it at age 55 is going to be when it options from being a cash accumulation to a death benefit. So then the allocation portion, done quite a bit of research on this, and the Barclays Trailblazer Sector 5 is where you want to put all the amount into.
Okay.
Because no matter what the stock market does, it's got 145% with a 1% bonus. So no matter what, you're going to get a 2.45% gain on your money every year. So the 145% represents 1.45%. And then they're giving you a 1%. So no matter what, you don't walk away with a 0% year. It's 2.45.
Right.
And with the Barclays, there's no cap limits.
Plus, doesn't F&G give you 0.25 on top of that?
I don't know what the contract, that might be specific to certain contracts. I'm
Is
not
this
sure.
a path setter?
Yes.
Okay, that's what yeah, okay.
So assuming that it does give you another 0.25, there's 2.7% on a down stock market year.
Gotcha.
So, and then it does not cap, which is very different than any of the S&P features. S&Ps usually will have like a 12.5 or 13% cap rate. So,
So you
these
only
op-
put 0 on, not on the
No.
S&P, not on anything else?
oh, this one,
Or I mean 100 on Barclay?
100 on Barclay
Okay,
for IULs.
right.
This automatically comes with a terminal, critical, and chronic rider. And then it's really easy to go up to calculate results. You don't want to do that. Just go to view and print illustration.
So if there's no cap, how does F&G profit from this?
They're using the money.
Yeah, they're using your money to invest every year.
Okay.
And
They're doing the
what-
same thing with your money. They're putting it into a product that's gaining whatever.
So
And they
there's
also
no
said that
cap
that
on an
boost-
F&G policy, no matter on this pass setter, it under if you put it under Barclay, there's
Yeah,
no
and
cap.
I'll show you some of the, hopefully it'll show the illustrations on,
Because I thought it was 12.5%. That's what Chris Miller told me.
it's 12.5% on the S&P.
Okay. Because
And
he
just-
set it up just like you did. He put it on 100% on on Barclay.
Just so you know, Jared, the insurance company makes their money based off the policy loan too. So like Jordan was saying earlier, like, you know, it's like a 2% interest rate on the taking a policy loan. That's what the insurance carrier gets to keep, that 2% interest.
That's if you pull your money out, correct?
Policy, yep.
Correct.
It's just like a bank, like if you got a
Okay.
loan from a bank and then, you know, you had an interest rate and the bank keeps the interest. That's same with like these policies.
So they're hoping that they're going to want to pull that money out sooner.
Well, and another thing about a insurance company is they take everybody's premiums and they can 10x loan the amount. So if I gave a bank
Oh.
$1,000, they can borrow 10,000 against my
Okay.
1,000.
Okay. That makes
So
a
what
lot
they're
of
doing
sense.
is they're taking all of our premiums and 10xing that and investing it into something else at the higher interest
Okay.
rate.
Okay.
That's how they
okay,
make
okay.
their money. So for this illustration, Billy, if you can see at
Got
the age of 30, we stop paying into the policy. There's no more accumulation. So there's $31,200 of accumulated money that you will put into that account.
Okay.
So then at the age of 56, the first year after 55, your son will start collecting $71,307 per year tax-free off of 31,000. So over the life of him borrowing, them paying out, they'll have paid out 1.069 on a $31,000 investment.
Damn. Okay.
Sheesh.
So the coolest part about all this is that, as you can see, again, it starts accumulating. There's a death benefit that's attached to it. So he passes away at 65 unexpectedly. There's still a $485,000, $368 death benefit attached. Plus the additional withdrawals and loans will go to the beneficiary as well.
So, hey, my question is, okay, you have a guaranteed, right? And then you have what it's performing at. So can that withdrawal, is that guaranteed, or could that go up if the market performs well?
Yeah, it's just based off of history. So
Up and down.
it can go up
and
or it
down.
can go down. So when you submit an application for pass setter, they say that they're not even going to give you a legitimate illustration until month 13.
Okay.
For the first year of you putting any money into it, they can't even show you an illustration of what this looks like. So this
Okay.
is based off of basically the past 20 years worth of performance.
And that's the 6.91%, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Compounded.
Right. Okay.
So the thing that I really liked about it was, especially for kids, so let's say that in Billy's situation, Michael is 25 and he wants to buy his first home. Or let's say he's 30 and he wants to buy his first home. He has $80,000 in cash value. He can borrow up to 75% of that number. And it doesn't change the cash value. Have you guys heard of that? So if I borrowed 50 grand out of this 80 grand, I still have 80,000 in cash value. And it's still going to accumulate and compound the interest on the 80,000, even if I borrowed 50 grand out of it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So so they say, how did they get their money back? Well, if you pass away, then this 200,000 is now 150 payout.
Right. It's kind of like borrowing from a whole life policy.
Yep. It borrows against the death benefit, not the cash value.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
So it can
awesome.
still accumulate.
It still
That's
accumulates
crazy.
as if it has 80,000 in the cash value.
What? That is crazy.
That's a pretty good fucking product.
And that number keeps going up.
Yeah, if you look at the count value, it keeps going up. Even when you're getting paid out, it's going up.
Right.
So the way I looked at it is it's something my son will never have to think about a life insurance policy because it always carries a death benefit.
Right.
It's a supplemental retirement account. Hopefully he does well, and I've taught him well before 25, and hopefully he starts contributing and this number goes up even more. Because you're stopping at 30.
Right.
What if he takes over the account and pays into it from 31 to 60? Or 31 to 55 at $100 a month? This whole illustration's changed.
Oh, so after 30, nobody's putting anything into this?
Yeah, you stop contributing your $1,200 a year. It stops at 30.
Okay, okay, I got it. So in theory, what I would want is for him to pick that bad boy up on the illustration.
100%.
I was explaining it to a client. That's what I would say.
So and that's what I always say, hopefully I've taught my child some good financial decisions by the time they turn 30, and they'll start contributing, taking over the account. So if you wanted to show them what that looked like, you just go back to the details and pay premium to age 55 now. That's when they want to start taking the money out.
You can do it that quick, huh?
Huh?
You can do it that quick, huh?
You can just do it right there and then view and print illustration. And let's see what that number changes to now. It's bound to be more than double.
Jordan, you know how with like Moose IUL, like there's a 20-year no lapse guarantee? What does that look like for F&G's product? Like if they were going to pay the bare minimum into it? Like, is there a no lapse guarantee for there? I know F&G gains a lot more, like higher, like the no cap rate and all that. So it probably wouldn't lapse on them anyway, but
there's a no lapse period right here. And the month no lapse premium.
So it says age 19.
725 is age 19.
Okay, cool. So it actually breaks down the number and oh sweet. That's legit.
What did that bad boy look like at the end?
I think it was 82,000 a year, but the death benefit's bigger and the cash value is monster.
So with that cash value, tell me, let's just say that, I don't know, a deal came up and he needed to generate $700,000. So he could take a loan against that?
Once he has the cash value, once he has, he can take 75% of the cash value accumulation. So if he needs 700, then we're going to need probably 800 and
right
at 50,000, 850 to be safe to get that mark. So at 59, he could do that.
But that's a no questions asked loan, basically, right?
It's your money.
Right. So, okay, got it.
So you'll put in $61,200 by the time he turns 55. And the policy by the time he gets done will pay out 1.2 million. Just in tax-free loans over a 15-year period. Wow.
And look at that account value in the death benefit at 75. And
look at 90. You got $6 million, almost $7 million. And a $2.2 million death benefit. That's a pretty good life insurance policy, I'd say.
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
85, it's a 1.3 million. And you're paying, what life insurance policy can you pay in $100 a month and have a $1.3 million death benefit?
Right.
It's not possible.
Yeah, that's.
So even